reserves. The gentleman from Oregon is recognized.
Yield myself such time as I may consume. Well, Groundhog Day came a month earlier this Congress. That's how I described this bill 2 years ago, July, because this is the third time that we've considered this bill. Now, we must admit the rationale has changed. Just last week, it was named the Zika Control Act. But before that, it was the Regulatory Burden Removal Act. So the first time it was considered, it was H.R. 1749. That was the 109th Congress defeated. That was for West Nile virus. Whoops. Then H.R. 872, last Congress, reducing the regulation act at the request of the American Farm Bureau because of the huge burdens. And now, just renamed last week, we're going to try and game a very serious thing, which is the potential spread of Zika, for which the Republicans thus far have appropriated $0 to help the states. Zero. Now we're going to pretend we're doing something here today about Zika. It's not about Zika. Now this is pretty damn personal for me, because the reason we have this rule is because of a huge, massive fish kill in Oregon. A misapplication of pesticide, an aquatic pesticide, into an irrigation canal. We're talking about applications in or near water. People drink water, fish swim in water, other things are dependent upon water. We're talking about, no, we don't want to have the EPA watch the pesticide operators who are putting pesticides in or around water. They should not be allowed to do that. Now, 92,000 steelhead died in Oregon, and that was essentially the beginning of this rule. Now, they're saying this is horribly burdensome. Well, first off, in my state, my one little isolated state, we have 825 miles of rivers that are showing significant levels of pesticides, 10,000 acres of lakes. Nationwide, it's hundreds of thousands of miles, tens of thousands of miles, and hundreds of thousands of acres. We haven't been testing for pesticide residues in water, in drinking water, until very recently. But now we don't want to do that anymore. We don't want people to know. Let's just stop, because this is a horrible burden. Well, actually, not so much. This is controlled at two levels, the EPA and the states. Now, we just heard one anecdote about aerial applicator in one state that just came up yesterday, unnamed, anecdotal. They suspended operations. Why? Who knows why? We don't know why. There's no facts behind it. But we should end the whole program nationwide because of one anecdote regarding one applicator who may have been misapplicating in Colorado. We don't know. So there was the committee asked the EPA and the states, how many people have complained and have had their operations interrupted? Interesting answer. 0 and 0. The 50 states say 0, except we now hear about an anecdote in Colorado. And the EPA says 0. So now we're going to pretend this has something to do with Zika. This has nothing to do with Zika. It has to do with whether or not someone is going to misapply a pesticide that's going to get in your drinking water. Now, we should become kind of sensitive about drinking water after what happened in Michigan, but nah, we don't care. Get rid of those stinking regulators. You know, don't worry. No one would ever misapply a pesticide. Won't get in your drinking water. Won't kill fish, even though it clearly did that in Oregon. So, you know, this is really a, you know, kind of transparent renaming and opportunistic approach to Zika. How about considering a real bill to put some real money to partner with the states to deal with this? And by the way, they can spray wherever they want because of a declared emergency. So it's automatically covered. But we're going to pretend that somehow we are going to facilitate the spread of Zika if we don't wipe out the EPA's authority to keep pesticides out of our water. You know, this has been defeated twice before, even though it's creatively renamed in the last week. I would recommend that my colleagues oppose it yet again. With that.